Good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to the third webinar by the Migrant Resource Center of the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment. Migrant Resource Center is a one-stop shop for all migration information. Today we'll be looking at the topic called irregular migration. Many a times we've heard of cases of people who travel through the Mediterranean Sea. The dreadful effects of the causes of this types of travels. Today we'll be looking at the definitions, the causes, and reasons why people embark on this dangerous journey. My name is Palumi Ogundari, and I'll be your host. Without wasting much of our time, I would like to introduce the panelists today. We're supposed to have three panelists. We have two on ground now. In no particular order, I would introduce Dr. Femi Ogunlo in Nigeria. Dr. Femi.
Good morning, Pelumi, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome, sir. And the next person is Mrs. Eugenia Ibinusa. Mrs. Eugenia is a return migrant. Mrs. Eugenia, you're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Pelumi.
Mrs. Eugenia, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're welcome. So the third person that will be joining us will be Mr. Oshita Osimene. He's the Executive Director of Patriotic Citizens Initiative. And when he joins us, he will also come live. Without wasting much of our time, I'd like to take my first question. And my first question is for you, sir, Dr. Femi Ogunlo. Well, yeah, looking at your line of work, being an HR, we have heard reasons why Nigerians migrate to seek for jobs or economic opportunities. How can they identify legitimate recruitment agencies to ensure that they don't fall into the hands of traffickers?
Thank you. First, let me apologize for my background
Dr.
because I'm actually...
Yes,
I'm trying to respond. I just want to first say that unfortunately, I've not been able to get to my destination. I'm still in traffic, but I'm being driven, so it's safe. But this topic is so important that I just believe that it was better for me to join while in traffic rather than to find excuses not to be here. So I want to crave your indulgence to permit this to continue. Now, your question is very germane. People seek opportunities is why they go elsewhere. So whether it is, let's even start from local, in which case somebody who lives in a part of Nigeria leaves that place to go to another part of Nigeria. So in travel, so he leaves, say, Osun State to come to Lagos or something. But some people also seek opportunity to go abroad. And these are the ones that I believe we are so much concerned about. Because at the end of the day, when people are seeking opportunities, they are looking to improve themselves. So what should they do? They should first of all ensure that they are looking at businesses that are registered with the Federal Ministry of Labor. Every recruitment agency is licensed by government. The Ministry of Labor issues recruitment license. So even though the company is not going to display its recruiter's license to you, you should go onto the portal. The Ministry of Labor has a portal that has the list of all agencies that have been licensed by it. So if you go onto that portal, you will find out if the agency that is claiming to have opportunities to take you abroad is even a registered agency by government. That's the first thing. The second thing is that many agencies belong to professional associations, such as ours, the Association of Outsourcing Professionals of Nigeria. We also have a register of members. So pick up the phone, call the AOPN secretariat and to just ask if this company is a member of AOPN, because our members are regulated and our members operate within the code of ethics that ensures that Nigerians are provided with decent jobs. Now, the third way is go on to the internet, put the name of the company. Today's world, people talk good when they have good experiences, and they talk ill also when they have bad experiences. So it is very likely that you will find what people have been saying about the company online. Now, if you don't find anything, that's also a reason to be worried. Because if a company has been providing opportunities for people to migrate and to have decent jobs, there will be testimonials. That company will have a website. Does that company have a website? And if it has a website, who are the promoters of the company? You will see their names there. Check them up on LinkedIn. Who are their followers? Who are they following? So you will know the seriousness and also the genuineness of the business that they do. At the end of the day, it boils down to due diligence. We cannot overstate the importance of due diligence. And whether you are seeking job in a country outside of Nigeria or you are seeking a job in Nigeria, these practices are also very important. So it is what I will advise for all our youth and job seekers to do. Thank you. So I don't
Thank
know
you,
if you
Doctor
I'm still great. I thought
Olufemi
that,
Ogunlowo.
yeah.
Yeah, he has explained. He has explained. No, go on, sir.
I'm not speaking. I said those are the things that I expect people to do at the minimum to
Okay, sir.
conduct due diligence.
Thank you for explaining into details the reason. Also, people should also understand that job at. So, looking at all things that we do at the Federal Ministry of Labor, we have a website called www.nelexnigeria.com. This is a place where you could just register and you get information on jobs that are available to you. The Migrant Resource Center is a hub that deals with labor migration and related issues. So you can walk in, get information about the places you want to travel to, the country you want to travel to, and how you can get decent and genuine jobs there. Okay. So, Mrs. Eugenia, my next question is for you. Can you tell us your migration story, what you did, and why you made that decision to actually travel abroad?
Well, my name is Eugenia Igbinosa. The reason why I took that decision of traveling was when I was about writing my SSC exam. There was no money for the exam, and I had to take a very rough decision that I want to travel out. I want to make money. Like I've seen my mates who are traveling out to make money, so I was like, yeah, I just want to really travel out and make money. So on my way, the person that carried me from Nigeria went to a place to swear. After swearing and every other thing, taking my part and all that. So from there we started our journey from Niger. Then we go to Agadez. So from Agadez, it was not really easy when we go to Agadez. We were in Agadez for like 3 days plus before we could enter the Sahara Desert. So when we get to on our way to the Sahara Desert, we were like, wow, is this really what we signed for? Everybody was surprised, like, is this really what we signed for? Nobody expected to be in such situation. I was like, is this where I'm going to? I was confused at that moment in time. So from there, we were going After we were going, let me say after a day or two, our water finished. There was no water for us to drink. Nothing, nothing. I had to drink my own urine. I had to drink my own urine. So it even got to a point whereby I couldn't even urine for me to even drink. I had to beg a guy to urine for me to drink. So it was not really easy. I fainted twice, and after everything, we were able to get to Duruku. So when we get to Duruku, they dropped us in a place where we saw a well where we can fetch water to drink. And after fetching the water, so we can drink. Then after everything, while we fetched the water, we drank from that water and we even bathed from the water. So in the morning of it, we were going to that same well to fetch water that we'll put in our rubber and continue our journey. But we discovered that there were three dead bodies in that well. We're like, wow. So we drank from this water that there are dead bodies inside. I was like, what's really going on? Like, am I going to die or what? Got to a point and I fainted. I fainted in the desert twice before we were able to get to Libya. When we got to Libya, I was in a ghetto called Rashid Ghetto in Saba, in Libya. So I was there for over 3 months. The lady that was carrying me, she refused to pay the money. She refused to pay the money that was used in bringing me to Libya. So the burger that carried me had to sell me out for prostitution. He had to sell me for 500,000, and I will use it to pay 2 million plus. Yeah, I was used to play 2 million plus. Life was like a hell to me. Even while I was in the convention, I was paying the money and all that. If I do any simple mistake, they will just tear my book. I'm starting afresh. It was never easy. The day I won't go to work, the following day I'm not going to eat. If I don't still go to work that day, the following day I won't eat. So it was not really easy for me back then. I was like, wow, what am I really going to do? How am I going to leave this kind of situation? Then I was just planning to even go back to Nigeria. I wasn't even going to cross again. I was like, ah, God, I just want to go back to Nigeria. I don't think I have to cross again because I don't think there will be any need for any crossing again. I was like, I will need to go back to Nigeria. So after everything, nobody to help. There was nobody I called to send me money. Nothing at all. I was like, wow, what am I really going to do to help take myself out from this situation? So a day came when one guy who carried a girl from our connection house, he took her away, like he rescued her from that place. So when they caught that guy, they killed the guy. Immediately they killed the guy, then some robbers came to our connection house, they kidnapped us. After kidnapping us, I was like, I was resold again. I was resold for from 10,000 dinars to start paying 4 million again. I was like, wow, is this how my life is going to be? I was like, not how I planned my life. I never expected to see such things like this. And after then, after I was able to be in place, then the lady I was in her connection had to take me to Gatron, another state in Libya. She had to take me to Gatron. So while I was in Gatron, I was working. Then I was able to get the money fast and be able to pay the money. So after then, that was when I was able to leave the place I was to another connection house where I can be able to work money and go back to Nigeria. So something came up. The guy that was in his connection, the evil people around had to connive with people that they should kill that guy. Immediately they killed the guy. The Libya police started looking for weed girls in the connection. We had to run. I ran into the Sahara Desert. I was like, I don't even know. I was for over 3 days or no, for over 2 weeks. I was there. Anytime I hear any sound of any motor or any truck coming, I'll just bury myself in the sand so that I will not so that nobody will kill me. I don't want to go to the police station. I was confused at that moment in time. before I saw some people driving in coming from Nigeria. The person I saw, the person used to Libya, and the person used to go to Nigeria and come back to Libya all the time. So it was the person that took me to his house where I was able to stay and refresh myself back. After everything, before I heard about voluntary returnees, if you want to voluntarily return to Nigeria, there's a flight for you. I was like, wow, is that real? Even at first, I never believed it was real. But I was like, wow, is that real? Like, I can just volunteer, then a flight will bring me back to Nigeria. They were like saying, yes, it's real. I was like, it's not real. I can't believe it's real. But anyway, I had to travel from the state I had to travel from Muzuk to Saba. We had to register for that flight. And after registering for the flight, it was never easy for me. But in all, I have to say, thank God. It was never easy. After registering for the flight, I was surprised. They called that my flight would be leaving the next day. I was like, wow, I have to quickly pack my things and go to the place where we leave for the airport. So after everything, I was able to come back to Nigeria. When I came back to Nigeria, I was the happiest person ever. The day I landed in Nigeria at Mohammed Airport, that day there was an heavy rain that fall. I had to kneel down on that rain and start saying, God, thank you. You that was able to remove me from such country. You that didn't allow me to die. You saved my life. Thank you. I was very, very happy. What to say is that the advice I have for the Nigerian youth is that please, in any way, no matter what, in any way, in no matter the situation you find yourself, don't even traveling out of the country irregularly because it's never going to help. You either find yourself in a very big problem. There are so many people, so many boys in Libya that they will lock them in tranquil, like a small room, a small counter, like 200 boys will be inside in that counter. More than 200 boys will be in that counter. They will keep them. They won't even give them food. We flog them, telling them to come, telling them to come, call their family in Nigeria to bring money. Even if some were able to pay the money, they will still keep them. They might even kill them. After killing them, they'll just go and throw them in the desert. They'll say, Allah Gali. It's only God that brings and it's God that take. So it's never really easy. No matter any situation you find yourself in this life, just have it in mind that you are going to make it in Nigeria. Yeah. If you know that your dream is not yet, just be patient and work it legally for you to go to wherever you are going to legally. But an illegal way is the worstest decision ever. The worst decision ever. I know how many people that we were in the desert together. We were 27 that was in the Igbos, but we were only 15 that survived. That survived to get to Libya. So it was never really easy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Eugenia. Really appreciate you're able to share your testimony. Right now, we have Mr. Osita Osemene, the Executive Director of the Patriotic Citizens Initiative, with us live. Mr. Osita, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry for coming in late. Yeah,
It's okay. Yeah. So, if you
yeah,
are just
thank you.
joining in, the topic is irregular migration, and we have Dr. Olufemi Ogunlowo on seat. We have Mrs. Eugenia Ibinedium. Ibinosa, sorry about that. And then now, Mr.
Yeah.
Osita Osemene just joined us. Okay, so without wasting much of our time, Mr. Osita Osemene, I would like you to define what irregular migration is. We know most Nigerians have heard of the word irregular migration, but they might not really understand what it means. So can you just define what irregular migration is? Thank you, sir.
Hello? Can I hear you? Hello?
Mr. Okay, are you there? Okay,
Yes.
so right now okay, so Okay, I think we're having some issues with Mr. Osita Osemene. When he comes back, I will ask him the question over again.
Huh?
Dr. Olufemi Ogunlowo,
Ah,
Dr. Olufemi Ogunlowo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
I'm
sir.
here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, sir. Being an HR, an expert in HR, I know many migrants walked up to you and asked questions of how they could actually travel out and get decent jobs outside the country. What are the signs people look out for to ensure that those jobs that they're giving to them out there would be genuine, would be risk-free, among many others. So what are you going to say to those people when they come to you?
Thank you. So first and foremost, it's so sad to hear our story, but there's a whole lot of lessons that we can all learn from it. And I think the best way usually to learn is to learn from other people's experience without going through it ourselves. Because if we do that, we will avoid the pitfalls that those ahead have gone through. So while I empathize with her, I'm also very grateful that she's courageous to tell her story, because she's going to be able to save a lot more people than I or the other gentleman who are speaking from the point of view of what is right. She has experienced it, and her testimony is the strongest weapon that we can have against practices that are indecent. Now, I'm going to use a story as a bedrock for my response to your question. And why is that so? Because in our story lies all the things that we need to know. And, I know that most times it's not really about not knowing, it's about desperation. So we have to start by saying that we must, all of us, try as much as possible to counsel our younger ones and the people around us not to be desperate, because in a situation where someone is desperate, you typically would take risk that is not informed, and the risk that is very, very that has no positive side. Because typically they will say that risk has two sides, the upside and the downside. But in a situation where you're only faced with downside and downside, head or tail, you lose. Then it just means that it is not worth taking. Now, so what is the first thing that I will bring out from what she has said? She said that she was asked to go and swear somewhere. No agency that is registered by government, no proper business will take its clients, because don't forget, job seekers are clients of recruiting agencies. We as recruiting agencies, we make money when we're able to place people in jobs. So they are our clients. They are the primary client. Those other organizations where we place people, they are actually the beneficiaries of the employment of these people. So the client in the real sense is the job seeker. Because as a recruitment agency, if you do not find the right skills, you cannot place it with your client, you cannot get paid. So the client is the job seeker. So we say the first thing is that no proper business, no business that is licensed by the Ministry of Labor, no business that is registered with the CAC will take its client to a clandestine place in a forest, on a hill, in a mountain, to a well or whatever, to go and swear to something, have a covenant. That's number one. Number two, you mentioned that they ask for body parts, whatever part of the body. No business, apart from saying that you even swear, would ask for body parts in exchange for commitment and loyalty. So the signs are always there when it is illicit. The question is about, because of desperation, do people succumb to the prospect of a better life with all the risks that are associated with it, or they just simply walk away and commit to doing whatever it takes to live a decent life and have a decent job in Nigeria or wherever they can get it. So to be honest with you, our testimony is the strongest weapon we have against indecent and irregular immigration. Our testimony. All the signs are there. So the moment somebody says, I'll find you a job in this country, all you need to do is to swear allegiance to me. Run. The moment somebody tells you, I will find you a job in this country, and you ask them, what's your CAC registration number? What's your company name? Do you have a license from the Federal Ministry of Labor to do this? And they cannot provide you with the evidence. Run. The moment you cannot find that company on the internet as a business that exists and is legitimate. Oh, are you referring to me that you can't see me?
No, I'm talking to Mr. Oshita.
Okay, sorry about that. So the moment you go on the internet or you go into, there are lots of, I don't want to mention names here because I don't want to do promotion, but you go to various, you have your exchange, for instance. You have a lot of Nigerian chat rooms where people talk about experiences and all of that. Look, just make up a name. Think of something evil. Put it on Google. You will have an idea if it exists. So the point I'm trying to make is that people knowingly go into this because they feel that their situation, the risk is worth it. But the testimony of our friend here makes it clear to us that the risk is not worth taking. So there's no amount of pointers we can give people in terms of what enables them to know what is a genuine business proposition and what is not, that would really sway them in the right direction. But if they see what people have gone through, if they hear what people have gone through, if they know people who have not returned and who have died. So one of the things your agency can also do is not just to tell the stories of those who have been able to return, but to humanize those who have died here. So, for instance, probably met one or two people that didn't survive the ordeal. Maybe they have pictures of them. Maybe you can do investigation and confirm that the story is true. Maybe you can put a face to it and say, this person tried this journey and this is the outcome. Because no business that is registered and is regulated. It takes people through Niger to Libya to whatever. There is no Mohammed. So somebody cannot promise you a job in Europe and you are unable to be flown to that job if it is genuine. Because as a recruitment agency, you get paid for the services you render. So clearly, and I'm glad that the other panelist is here, who is an expert in this practice. He will be able to throw a whole lot of light. But the point I'm trying to make is this: in my opinion, and with due respect to everybody's sensibility, people walk into this with their eyes open. And the point is, they say, I'm already dead, so I'm a living corpse. I'll rather risk this journey. So what we need to do is how we can change that mindset, how we can help people to know that this esteem, their own self-esteem, they can build on it. The billionaires of this world, some of them in this country were once traders. Some of them said they sold shirts, they sold things in traffic. So it's not the end of your life. The future is going to be better only if you are steadfast. And that means staying on the right lane. So my encouragement
Thank
is
you
that
very much, Dr.
let's tell the story of people more than even telling people, what a right agency is, because they don't really just care about that.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Yeah, said it all. People walk into this with their eyes open. Thank God for Mrs. Eugenia, who was able to share her story. A lot of people couldn't live to even share their story. So it's best to get the right information. And where can you get this information? The Migrant Resource Center is at your disposal. We have our office at at Cardinal Lubumio Koje Road, beside passport office at Ikoyi. You can walk there at any time. We have our contacts. You can call us and then get information about things that aren't clear to you. Okay. So it's unfortunate that we couldn't get Mr. Osita right now. Um, Most times people wonder what irregular migration is, and it's actually a movement. The moment you move from where you are to another place, you could actually travel through the regular routes, like you get your visa, but the moment you extend overstay, that's what they call it, you become an irregular migrant. And the moment that happens, you have more issues to worry about than a regular person. But the dreadful part is people going through the regular route to other people's country. You become vulnerable. You become victims of traffickers, kidnapping, and many others. It's unfortunate. Okay, let's say I think we're about to have Mr. Osita again. Let's see, and pull through now. Okay, we can't. Okay, so let me take this is Eugenia. Mr. Osita, are you here now? Can
Yeah,
we talk to you now?
I think I'm struggling with the
Okay.
network, but I think I can talk now. I'm hearing you clear. Mm.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to ask you
Yes.
this question.
Mm.
What type of opportunities were available to you abroad when you migrated? Oh, sorry, that question was for Mrs. Eugenia. But since you are here now, let's take your own question. You've been working in this field and interacting with people for over 5 years. You have been working in this field and interacting with people for over 5 years now. What to say is the reason why people risk their lives to migrate?
Please, can you again, please?
Mr. Osita, did you get the question?
Please.
Did you get the question? Okay, so let's go. Are you there now? Can you hear us
Yes,
now?
yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take the
I can
question
hear you
again.
now.
Okay, so I'm going to take your question again. You have been working in
Yeah.
this field for over 5 years now.
Yes.
What will you say is the main reason why people risk their lives to embark on irregular form of migration?
Yes. Thank you very much for that question. Like you said, I've been working for over 10 years now on this
Oh,
issue of
sorry about that.
migration, reintegration, return assistance, and in the issue of supporting return migrants that have come back. The major reason for movement is, first of all, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and kind of people, family pressure, and people not trying to see the good side of what they are doing in their country and preferring the other side, you know. And this family pressure has led to a lot of people not knowing their status before even embarking on the journey. That is why you have a lot of people going through the irregular means of migration. And we have a large number of youths coming back as return smuggled migrants or victims of trafficking, So, because what we are saying now is that for me, in our organization, we don't kick against migration per se. We encourage people to travel if people have the necessary skills. But you find out that youth of these days do not think about the skills, but they want to go because they feel that they can easily pick money in the streets of Europe. So deception is one of the major push factor, major cause of this. And you see that a lot of people who see themselves as migrant smugglers and human.
So we lost Mr. Osita there. I hope he comes back soon. Okay, I think he's back now.
Sorry, did you hear me? I don't know where I stopped again.
Okay,
I didn't know
sorry,
I've gone
sorry
off.
about that.
Yeah, hello?
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, can
Please,
you continue now? Yes, we can hear you.
yeah, Yeah, where did I stop, please? Because I was talking about the issue of deception and the issue of
Yes.
smugglers
Yes.
trying to patronize Europe by encouraging people from Nigeria, making it look as if Europe is beautiful, is finer than Nigeria, and also they're also capitalizing on the unconducive environment in Nigeria. There are a lot of things that are making it become so high now in terms of people risking their lives. They are not finding things easy in Nigeria. There is no enabling environment where they are. You know, there is no job, lack of employment, poverty in a lot of families, no light, no good roads in this country. So there are so many factors that are encouraging these are young ones. You know, we have lost the values that we have before. Before, Europe was not as attractive as now. Traveling outside the country was not attractive as now. People travel, they gain knowledge from outside the country and they come back to Nigeria to use it. But now people get knowledge from Nigeria and go outside the country. So you see the whole thing has changed. They are turned upside down. And it's really affecting our youth because we are losing a lot of youth. Only last month, one of our beneficiaries that have been reintegrated, have been supported under the European Union project that they are doing, has remigrated and he lost his life. He died in trying to get to Europe in the island of Canary Island, island of Canary, where I think so. You know, he died there.
That's very
You know,
sad.
and this is somebody that have been supported while back. So you can see that the irregular migration has eaten deep into the system. Some persons have taken it as a means of livelihood to begin to, you know, to capitalize on the vulnerability of our youth. That our youth are, they believe that it is easier to make money in Europe than in Nigeria. So that is the major reason why people are really moving.
Thank you very much, Mr. Osita. So, what I would just ask you, because we don't know how far your network will take us now, what type of information should prospective labor migrants get about a job offer abroad before making the decision to relocate?
Yeah, yes, there are a lot of countries that have job, what they call it, space. They have different fields. You know, if we can liaise with such countries, especially the agency that has the mandate to liaise with international other international other countries, you know, find out what spaces are available in different sectors abroad, you know, and it can be published in like now the Ministry of Labor and Employment have what they call NELEX. So when they get these opportunities in several countries through our embassies, they can publish it in NELEX, and people with qualified with qualifications that are qualified to get that job will see it as an opportunity. Like now, look at the Canada program that they are doing. It's very clear. It's very clear. There is no hidden thing about Canada opportunities, and you see different people applying for it. So if we can have such relationship with other countries and it's being published in NELEX, and NELEX will reach out to all the partners and stakeholders, and maybe even the media, the Nigerian newspaper, print media, and all these things, Nigeria will begin to see that, yes, the government is ready, because that is one way they can also reduce the movement of people. And let us not just concentrate on big jobs, on big medical lines, nurses. You know, let us look at people with skills, craftsmen. Let us look at people with trade, experts in other areas, lower jobs. Because lower jobs, if you watch, the majority of people who return back as irregular migrants are people who go for menial jobs. So let us look at people who want to go for lower jobs, not just people who want to go for higher jobs. Also in Europe, they have caregivers. They have security jobs. Can NELEX, can Ministry of Labor and Employment look for such opportunities so that this lower middle class in Nigeria that want to travel at all costs? I have seen a lot of girls who say they want to go and become helpers. You know, they can become caregivers over there. So these things can be a kind of a means and a way to balance and reduce the flow of people trying to risk their life out of the country without getting the proper information of what they want to go and do there.
Thank Thank you very much, Mr. Osita. Talking about the offers we have from NELEX MRC, presently we are running over 10 different trainings in by the NGC, Nigerian German Center, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Labor, that's MRC and NELEX. And we are running different trainings. We're looking at talking about photography, caregiving training, catering, among the others, business training. So if people can just key into this opportunity and ensure that they make good use of it, I'm sure getting a good and skillful job won't be a problem outside the country. Okay, please, if you are just joining us, you can join the conversation by sending your views, your comments, and questions through the comment section. Are we good? Well done. Okay, so Dr. Olufemi.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'm here. Go ahead.
Yes. Looking at it from your own organization, that's the Association of Outsourcing Professionals of Nigeria. How does your body monitor the activities of member recruitment agencies and keep them standardized?
Thank you for that question. First and foremost, every member of the association that is into HR practices, because AOPN is broad, it encompasses all outsourcing, whether it's business process or human resource outsourcing, logistics, etc. But every member that is human resource organization is first required to be licensed by the Ministry of Labor. And I'm sure you are very familiar with this. It's called the recruiter's license. That recruiter's license is a requirement of the Labor Act. And as such, it is a regulatory requirement, and it has clear statutory requirements for the practice and the code of conduct that the company must follow. Now, secondly, is that there is also, it is not a one-time license. It is not a lifetime license. It is a license by law that is renewed annually. And therefore, you are required to render certain returns for it to be renewed. And apart from just even rendering those returns at the end of the year, you are required to render quarterly returns to the Ministry of Labor. Now, over and above that, there is the enforcement arm of the ministry that ensures that the standards are met. Now, I understand that there are many more companies out there that the ministry can rigorously, follow up with enforcement, and that's why it's also doing it in partnership with what we can call industry associations like ours. So our members are under the code of conduct of AOPN, and the code of conduct of AOPN requires us to ensure that we do not engage in illegal practices. But first and foremost, there is no member of AOPN that is involved in any of the kind of practices that we are talking about here, or that may be involved in them, because it's like gray or black market. Basically, everything we are talking about here is actually about illegal activity. And let's call a spade a spade. What we are doing is running business, and running business in a legal way, complying with the statutes of the country. The people who traffic people, the people that we are talking about here, they are just Shylocks. They are those who are taking advantage of others' desperation. I don't want to call them the name that comes to my mind, but in all honesty, it's just wickedness of man unto man. But that is the point, because in wickedness, there is also opportunity to make money. So they exploit that thing. They use their wickedness to exploit people who are desperate, and so the cycle continues. So if you ask me, how does AOPN monitor and enforce discipline? It's very clear, it's very strict, but our members do not conduct themselves in manners that we are talking about. And those who conduct themselves in this manner are operating illegally, and so, in fact, many times do not even have, and they are not of a fixed address. So how do you even monitor? How do you regulate somebody that's not of a fixed address?
Fixed address.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, at Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, we do what we call a recruiter's license, and so we advise people, the general public, if you have a particular job and you feel you want to recruit, it's best you get that recruiter's license. Mr. Osita Osimene, looking at your
Yeah.
story of how you started this organization, can you just give an hint of what you went through, the ordeal you went through, and why you made this decision to actually start up this organization?
What? Sorry, I didn't hear you well.
Okay, so I'm going to take the question again. I said, looking at your story and the reason why you started this organization, can you just tell us a little of what you went through and why you made the decision to start up this organization?
Sorry, come again. Sorry, come again.
Okay, the reason why you started the organization, PCI, can you tell us the reason why you started the organization? Oh, I think you can't hear us right now. Hello, are you there? Okay, so let's go to Mrs. Eugenia.
Yeah, I
I
can't
haven't
hear you
told
very
us what.
well. It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's okay. Yes. Mrs. Eugenia, are you there? We're sorry about this. I think we're having issues with network. Yes, Mrs. Eugenia, haven't told us what you went through and how you survived. Would you please give an advice to people out there that intend to embark on the kind of journey you went through?
This is not something that down. Even if they should find something doing, if they can find the legal way to out of the country, it's better than going illegally, because it is not a good at it is not I'm not going to advise anybody to travel illegally because it's not advisable. You're not going to make it there. You are just going there to suffer. You might even lose your life in the process. So it's not really something you have to do, that you must travel out of the country. There are so many things you have to do. You can open up a business, you can learn some handwork, you can do something that you know is reasonable instead of traveling out of the country illegally. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Osita. Dr. Olufemi, on a final note, because we are rounding up right now, um, what's your take on and the advice you have to give people of the general the public right now on irregular migration, reasons and why it is important that they go through the right means of migration? Thank you.
All right, thank you. First and foremost, if you start your journey through the regular means, you are forever going to be in the shadows in the host country. So let's get that clear. You are smuggled, you are taken by road, you enter the borders illegally, you are going to have no local standing in that country. You are going to be totally in the dark and you're going to be exploited for the rest of your life. That is just the point. It's very simple. Because at every point you see immigration or you see police in that country, you will shiver. And somebody is going to exploit you because of that knowledge. So it's it's talk. I know it's talk. It's cheaper to talk. I know that people cannot find a decent meal. People cannot just make a living. And as a result, will say, I'm a dead man already. I'm a living corpse. Why not just go and die and know that I tried? But that's the wrong mindset. Because tomorrow will be better if you apply yourself to it. There are people who till the ground, who plant things. You can come together in your community, young men, approach the valley or somebody, get land, do farming. There are just so many opportunities that you can pursue. So if you don't want to be a servant forever, meaning that you are going to be enslaved by someone, please, please, please consider that you have people who also love you, not just yourself. And don't put them through the trauma of not even knowing what is going on with you. So on
Thank
that
you.
note, I'll say it is just common sense. Apply it.
It is just common sense. Apply it. On this note, we have come to the end of this particular edition of webinar. It's unfortunate that Mr. Oshita couldn't hear us due to network issues, but we are grateful that you were able to join us. This is a regular thing. It happens every month, and we are glad that you are here today. Thank you, Mr. Olufemi Ogunowo, for joining us today. Thank you, Mrs. Eugenia Ibinosa, for joining us. Really appreciate your presence here. Thank you very much. On final notes, if you want to learn more about how you can get immigration information, kindly follow us on our Instagram pages, migrant underscore Lagos and Nelex Lagos on Instagram. Then also on Facebook, Nelex Lagos. On Twitter, Lagos MRC. Then on YouTube is MRC slash Lagos. Sorry. On YouTube, it's Nelex slash MRC, and you can get more information. Thank you all for participating. At MRC, we believe that migration is your right, but the most important thing is, do you know you can do it right? So here from now on, we say, please get the right information and ensure that you travel right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining
Thank
us.
you. Bye.
Do have a
Thank
wonderful
you
day.
for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.